So again, I will say, we have to go to non-copyright land. As this time, for real, we're actually set up for the start of a new season. So again, chat, this is what, and we'll get into simming, we'll get through a draft, and then we'll see what else tonight brings us. This is what your Arizona Diamondbacks look like. Of course, you sign Luis Severino. You have Cedric Doss, who is potentially going to be a god. Gives up a lot of hits, but also strikes out a lot of people. A lot of people. Only thing that can really bring you down, I'd say, is the bullpen. But it's not bad. Wheelchair, we didn't lose the save file again, thank God. Lineup-wise for you guys, it's looking like this. Again, it's Trey Turner at short, Josh Rojas, Ketel Marte. You signed Teoscar Hernandez this year. Pavin Smith, Buddy Kennedy officially moved over to first base, so he's a couple overall points down. Dominic Canzone, Carson Kelly, and Jordan Lawler makes your roster. He will be playing shortstop for the majority of the season in non-DH situations. Your depth as well isn't that bad. I genuinely think you guys will make the playoffs this year. I will not. This is my rotation. Montes, Caprilian, I don't fucking know. Why are we playing Pavin Smith third? Only for DH situations. So whatever happened at 97 potential pitcher we took in the first round of the year. I mean, there you go. he's right there. We got Swervin in the lineup, of course. Brent Honeywell Jr. and Zach Logue are going to make it. Because why the hell not? It's beautiful. I got Spencer Strider as a long reliever. And, yeah, the rest of my bullpen's not so good. It's not. Thank God I have Edwin Diaz. Pretty much. Thank God I have Edwin Diaz. My lineup as well is looking a little bit rugged. Poisson, Kemp, we did sign Devers, which will probably happen in real life because the Red Sox didn't fucking re-sign him yet. Ramon Laureano, Seth Brown, Sheldon Neuse, Sean Murphy, Chad Pinder, and Lawrence Butler at first base. Got the likes of Rule 5 pickup Bryce Terang. Christian Pache, Shea Langeliers is also there as a defense-first catcher. Oh, speaking of Cole Irvin, how weird is it to think that pro athletes know you because of the work you do? It is weird. It is weird at the end of the day. And not just hockey players, but, like, people from others. It's weird, dude. It's a bit weird. It's cool shit, though. It is pretty cool. It's humbling, in a sense. Play video games, people know who you are. It's weird. Top prospects right now. Cedric Doss is third. You also have Jordan Lawler, who is fifth, but Sarah, oh my God, you guys are dominating. Dominating the top 10 in terms of prospects. That's insanity. Again, you adopted you adopted Lawler, but aside from that, you've drafted so well. Jesus. When the hell does my first player even show up? Tyler Soderstrom at 21, Adrian Benitez at 24, who I did draft, so that's nice. You guys also have Benito Carvajal in there. I have Gunnar Hoagland. So we both have good representation in the top 50 list throughout the league. Again, you guys are going to be a significantly better team. I mean, that's my essentially my organizational depth chart. Outside of third base and catcher, it is abysmal for you guys. I mean, just look at that. Look at that. Like I said, you might be able to be a playoff team this year. You will certainly be close. I will not. Shout out to Shekel. Getting a Cronenworth for the bosses there. So this will be interesting. This will be interesting. And again, scouting-wise, we updated all the scouts. You guys still have a superior scouting department. Well, let's do it. We will go to the draft as we do. I'm 2-7 so far to start the year. You are 5-4. We certainly want to follow you guys up to the draft more than we want to follow me because my team is tragic. Tragic. And we'll see if you guys can get close to where you want to be. Interesting. And you're looking okay. There you go, 34-27 at this point in the season, the day before the draft. Again, I will open up the raffle soon. But remember, if you're going to enter, get ready to be prepared, right? I don't want to have it be like, okay, well, let me look at third baseman, or let me look at shortstop. I'm going to show you everything you need to know. You should be able to come up with your own little short list of who you want to keep an eye out on, especially through the first couple of rounds. But let's do this. To the draft we go. The A's have the #1 pick, the Diamondbacks at 13. But I have the #1 overall pick in this draft. In terms of competitive balance, nothing there. Round 2, you guys had the 10th pick. Compensation between 2 and 3, nothing doing there. You guys have the 13th. Okay, so yeah, your picks do bounce around a little bit. Yeah, the Yankees have the 3rd overall pick. All right, let's see. Let's see who is available here. I will go up here, so not much is cut off, and we'll see how this goes down now, won't we? So for catchers, holy shit, Connie Kaminsky as a catcher. That's a tough call. It's a tough call on Kaminsky. It's going to be high potential guaranteed, but low OVR. There's Oliver Perez. Good arm. Oliver Perez doesn't look that bad. There's also Brian Rosnioy, who is 23 already, and probably not worth the risk. Mark Yates is 22, also probably not worth the risk. If he's 4 years away, it's unconfirmed though. There's old Bill Durham out of Jamaica. The Jamaican Bill Durham. Lewis Bryant's already 23, probably not worth the risk. Everett Padilla, definitely not worth the risk. Again, 23, 4 years away. Henry Gomez, not looking great. Joel Donnelly's 21 and 4 years away. Do you want to wait until 25 for a guy to be ready? Michael Perez. I mean, a lot of waiting forever type of prospects here. Tommy Koo. Attributes look good, but can you trust it? Sylvester Farrell. Well, I'll be marking him down on my list, and I'm sure you will be too. I'm not taking him first overall, but man, if you can get a guy like that in the 2nd or 3rd round, interesting. The potential might not be as high as it is for someone like Perez or Durham, but it's not bad. And then these guys, you know, are kind of going to be shit. First base, Sam Iden. Yeah, it's unconfirmed. It's unconfirmed in terms of a full report, but if he is 21 and is going to take 4 years to develop, that's disappointing. I don't know a damn thing about Cole Johnston. Bill Galeski. Galeski might be worth more of a shot than Iden. Then there's also Omar Merced. So not a ton there for first baseman from my scouts. Your scouts might be different. Second base, Alfonso Santos, who again, like, we don't have a full report on. We don't have a full report on him. But if he is 4 years out, I mean, again, he won't be ready until at least age 25, but he might have a high potential. David Vaughn, 22, 4 years out, unconfirmed, not liking that. Eddie Gonzalez is probably a bit more of a safer bet. Robert Chambliss. Jesse Owen. The white Jesse Owen. Honestly, though, again, the potential's down to like 65 at that point. Unless somebody has crazy attributes, you can't really trust it, and nobody does. Third base, 20-year-old Jeff McCoy. He's a blue chipper. Can play all infield positions except for catcher. Interesting. 20 years old, 4 years out, but you know he has high potential. It's Greg Gonzalez. Again, he's probably not worth it. Damon Roman, excuse me. Again, 21 years old, almost 4 years out. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Then there's Ethan Irvin. Good contact, might be worth the risk a little bit more. And then these guys at the bottom, again, unless they have crazy overalls or crazy attributes, which they don't, they're not worth it. Shortstop, Kirby Hernandez is a future Gold Glover. Kirby Hernandez at shortstop is a future Gold Glover. Guaranteed. Framber Valdez also got supercharged. Man, they're not shy with the supercharge boosts. Don't know enough about Russell Smith. Vinny Shin, 22 years old, 4 years out. Might have the high potential, but again, he won't be ready until he's 26. Then there's James Delory, also blue chipper, 20 years old, 4 years out. Same thing as Hernandez. Just high overall, or high potential, but probably a low overall. Then there's Brad Stone, also probably a future Gold Glover. Yeah, Steven, I like to talk Diamond Dynasty. I like the supercharge idea too, because people are like, oh man, you can't really work the market anymore. Now you can, because of these supercharge options. Dude, they're so fucking good when it comes to managing Diamond Dynasty. So good. Howie Guy. Oh my god, this is the draft for shortstops. Jesus. That is 3 people I could see winning a future Gold Glove at shortstop. You got Fred Marsh, who's 23, 4 years out. Fuck that. And then, yeah, these other 2, no thank you. There are like 3 potential future Gold Glove shortstops there. And it's just my list. We don't even know who the hell your scouts found. In left. Apparently my scouts say we don't need a left fielder, which they're right. I have Arnez there, but Jesus, they didn't even try. Rob Lyon, who's fast. That's about it. Martin Delory. Yeah, no, there's nothing there at left. So if you're hoping to draft a left fielder for the Diamondbacks, you're going to need to hope your scouts found people. Domingo Villalobos, 19 and a next year ETA. That might be my pick. That might be my pick. That might be Villalobos. Is probably the most interesting player to me so far. There's also Domingo Espinoza, who also isn't that bad. 19 but 4 years out, unconfirmed. Kazuhito Nishii. Good speed. It's okay. Bryant Cannon. 20 years old, 4 years out. Might not be that bad, but is nothing special. Carlos Perez. A little bit better on the contact. Ryan Jackson. Might also not be that bad. Right back on the organization. I don't fucking know, dude. It's just what the non-copyright shit brings up. Nothing I can do. And in right. God, I haven't even looked at pictures yet, and this is already a tough choice. In right, we have Alfonso Merced. 20 years old, 4 years out. Not number 1 pick worthy. Brian Roy. Potentially decent power. Not number 1 pick worthy. Houston Gonzalez might be number 1 pick worthy. Might be. 4 years out, it's unconfirmed. Dominique Morales. Also not too bad to look at in the future. Vince Karlik, he's 24, but ready next year. He's an interesting one. Because if that potential's not bad. Karlik's a wild card there. Maybe a first rounder, ideally a second or a third. And then there's Juan Fernandez. Fuck. I'm going to have to compare him with Villalobos. Craig Deal looks like trash. Pedro Campos is 22, 4 years out. 24, 4 years out for Keenan Stoddard, but apparently he has good power. Randy Telshaw. I don't really want to wait until guys are 26. Jorge Carrasco, all the contact and speed in the world. Wow. So position player-wise, it's definitely interesting. And then in terms of bullpen arms, Elton Sanchez. Looks like he could be a beast of a closer. There's Johan Mercado, who also looks great. I mean, all of these guys, like, look, no doubt about it. You want to take a closer. They pretty much all look great. You really can't go wrong. Except for Carlisle. You really can't go wrong with any of those closers. I mean, the most interesting one's probably Uribe, because he's 19, ready in 2 years. Wow. That's tough to lay off. And then for relievers, we got Eddie Lucero. It's probably decent. Orville Rodriguez. You got Antonio Valenzuela, who just off of the age in ETA. Probably decent. I'm not going to look at OVRs at this point, just for the sake of time. You got Graves and Suzuki, who would both be ready by like 24, 25. Gerald Irvin's there. Lantigua. There's a bunch of bullpen options, which makes me think that these are going to go fast, because the AI loves good bullpen options. They really do. And then for starters, well, that pretty much solves my my question as to whether or not I'm taking anybody with the first overall pick. I mean, as much as I'd love another ace, I don't think I can trust it, but I mean, Salazar, Carey, like, I just don't have enough info on them. It's not green bar. I can't risk it. But Carey, Ramirez, Trevino, could be a risk. 91 mile an hour cutter, depending on the information. And again, you guys will get to see your scouts' info. So sure, I get to pick first. You get more information to go off of. You get not only my scouting reports, but then you can also bank that information off of your scouts as well. But again, it looks like there are a decent amount of starting pitchers here that aren't that bad. Again, we'll still have to look at your scouts' info before you guys make your pick, but yeah, my scouts really don't like those guys. Okay, well, there were two dudes that stood out above the rest for me. It is either Villalobos or Juan Fern. I think it has to be. I mean, there are those shortstops that are interesting. There's the catcher, who's interesting as well, Elton Sanchez, who's 4 years. Ooh, Jesus. Again, Delory's 4 years out. He's mainly got the speed. McCoy is going to take forever. Then there was Bradley. Okay. So for me, it is either Kaminsky, a catcher. I was looking at Elton Sanchez before, a closer. Oh, I can't take a closer first overall. Kaminsky would take forever. It's got to be one of the two outfielders. 65, 80, 55, 75. Oh, man. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do here. You know what, I gotta go full boomer and take a picture of my fucking monitor to compare these stats. We're going full boomer. Between Juan Fernandez or Domingo Villalobos, the #1 overall pick, I'm not taking a blue chipper. Alright, so let's see. What do we got here? Score 1 Villalobos. Score 2 Fernandez. Villalobos. Fernandez. Villalobos, though, might have the potential, because Fernandez is in the 75s. We don't know what that potential is for sure. ETA's next year. Villalobos' ETA's next year as well, but his potential's showing up as an 80. So what I'm worried about is that Fernandez might have... Man, Villalobos is 19 as well. I think Fernandez is the better player right now, but that Villalobos might have the higher ceiling. Like, he really just doesn't have the power game. Catcher, most blue chippers suck ass, let's be honest. Most blue chippers suck. Let's not fool ourselves here. Fuck, man. This is going to be a make or break decision for me here. This is the pick that could ultimately decide whether or not I have any success here. I just can't shake the fact that Villalobos is showing up in the 80s. I just can't help but think that Villalobos at 19 is going to have a higher potential and still not have that bad of an overall. But the Fernandez is better now. It's just that Fernandez has the power. Fuck, man. I want to take Fernandez, but I feel like it's a mistake. 6-1 bats left. 6-1 bats right. 6-5-6 dash. Domingo Villalobos is the pick, #1 overall. So off the board for you guys, Jeff McCoy, the third baseman, is gone. Connie Kaminsky at catcher is out. Elton Sanchez, that dynamite closer, is gone. James Delory at shortstop, who I did like, but he wasn't the only one that I liked. Wow, the closers. Uribe and Bradley are both gone. Santos at second base. David Vaughn at second base. First base, Sam Iden is off the board. Brad Stone at shortstop. And Tommy Villa in left. So, we'll see if I made the right call there. Let's take a look at who you guys had scout-wise in terms of information. And apparently your scouts want you to take a catcher, even though you have Del Castillo, which is interesting. So, at catcher, there is... Wow, they really... my scouts didn't look at Joel Donnelly. Joel Donnelly is looking decent. 21 years old, ready next year. Almost a confirmed 80 potential. Donnelly is looking fantastic. I think that would take something special for him to not be the pick. There is Oliver Perez as well, who your scouts also have as being a player worth of interest. He's 19 years old and will take a little bit. Again, Rosnoy's there, but he's 23 and 4 years away. Same for Gomez, same for Padilla at 22, Yates, Tommy Kuz, 21. So no doubt, I mean, your scouts, the big thing is Donnelly. Your scouts very much don't like old Bull Durham, who my scouts did. Your scouts also don't like Perez, who my scouts liked a lot. So, it's interesting. Very interesting situation here. First base. Scouts have primarily found Christian Smith for you guys, who might be a decent power hitter. There is also a Gillespie, who my scouts were like, he's okay. And then Casto, 21, 4 years out, kind of meh. And then from there, early falls off. My scouts didn't mind Merced. Yours really don't like him. Second base, Underwood. He's going to be 26 by the time he's ready. So there's Eddie Gonzalez. My scouts also didn't mind. Is probably one of the better available. Chambliss is years out. And from there, there's really nobody. Third base, Greg Gonzalez. No real info. You got Chad Watts. Might not be too awful. Watts might not be too awful at third base. I mean, Roman will be 25 by the time he's ready. And then everybody else casting some doubt. Casting some doubt. Shortstop. Kirby Hernandez is still there. Again, your scouts think the same thing that mine do. He is a great defensive shortstop. He's basically an inverted Derek Jeter. Then there's also Howie Guy, who might be even better. Hernandez and Guy both look great at shortstop, but of course you guys have Jordan Lawler there now. You don't really need a shortstop, but you also might just want to take the best available to shuffle people around. There's also Brian Casto, who doesn't look that bad. He really doesn't. Brooks is pretty bad. Russell Smith. Russell Smith not looking that bad either. And then Shin, your scouts don't really like as much as mine did. In left, you don't have much to go off of. Hank Whitman is there, though, who, I mean, again, my scouts didn't look at left fielders at all, but you do have Hank Whitman. There's also Estevan Dominguez, who you don't really have too much info on, and then from there, there's basically nothing. Center field. You got a little bit of info on Perez. A little bit of info on Cannon. Probably not worth being a first-round pick for you guys. You do have Moses Harmon, who doesn't look that bad, to be honest. Probably not first-round caliber. And then you also get Mark Duke, 4 years out, so probably a little bit meh. And then in right, you got Merced. Merced is there. Intrigued to see what your scouts think of Juan Fernandez. There's Craig Deal. And then there is Juan Fernandez that your scouts like a lot too. Do you go for Juan Fernandez? You don't really need the outfield help. You signed Teoscar Hernandez. You have Marte, Carroll, Thomas, Becerra, Gallegos in the system. I mean, Fernandez could be a gem and a half. Your scouts like him a lot too. Your scouts like him even more than mine do. But is that what you need? You go for best available, or do you go for need? Because I do believe there are still closers available. There's Brian Roy. We will still look at everyone else. There's Houston Gonzalez in right. It's true, the accuracy is not great. You guys are at about 50%, if that. So it's a risk, just like it was for me, which is why I didn't go for him. At least not in the first round. He's the type of guy, if you get in the second round, you're laughing to the bank, though, if he works out. Yeah, for the 70s, Ponce is also there as a decent little option at 23 if he is ready next year. Switch hitter as well. You got Dominique Morales. Also not that bad. So a couple of 70s, and then there's also Carrasco and Vento. So Carrasco could be a decent little pickup later on, and then Vento, my scouts didn't look at all, and could also be a decent little pickup. Then in terms of pitchers, the closers, Montano is still there, as is Mercado. Your scouts actually like Carlisle more than mine did. But, I mean, man, if you want bullpen help, it's there to be found. It might be a little bit down the road. In terms of relievers, Guillermo Ortiz could be solid. You also got Burks. Quezada might be a little bit out, but I mean, bullpen help. Let's see, you got Dave Bong, Scott Erdman. Who doesn't want Scott Erdman on the team? You got Espinoza, and it drops off. And then starting pitcher-wise, Robbie Mateo. Jesus. Well, if you want another ace, fucking Robbie Mateo might be the guy. My scouts drop the ball with pitchers. But you got Mateo, who's 19 and might be ready next year. Jesus. There's also Will Manning. So, your scouts didn't find a ton of pitchers. Johnny Wells is also out there. What is it with your scouts and finding good pitchers? Got Sean Diaz. Good second or third round option. Fucking Eric Dalton's probably going to be decent. Evan Ellison. Sanchez. Your scouts love finding great frickin' pitchers. So with that, and again, you look at the depth chart, starting pitching-wise, maybe not where you need the most amount of help. You need that bullpen help. We both desperately do need that bullpen help. Catcher-wise, I mean, you have Carson Kelly, and behind him is Del Castillo. But again, as much as you saw that outfielder, don't forget the catcher in Joel Donnelly, who looks like he is a franchise-caliber catcher. And you have Carson Kelly at 29 years old. I don't know if I'd defined your depth chart as deep at catcher. Kelly's 29. Last year of his contract. And Del Castillo has no bat whatsoever. So I'm just saying, it's worth considering. First base, you have Buddy Kennedy there now. Let's be honest, you're probably good. Smith and Gillespie really didn't jump off the page. They're solid. But I think you have better options. Can I catch your play anywhere else? No. Second base. Again, you don't really need help there. You have Gonzalez that you picked up in the Rule 5. You got Rojas there for now. And really Gonzalez, Eddie Gonzalez was the only guy that was looking half decent. He won't be ready for a bit. Daniel Raffles not up yet. Third base-wise, I mean, you have Trey Turner there and nobody else. But probably not an extreme need. There were a couple of guys there that I'm interested in. And then again, shortstop, Jordan Lawler's there, Perdomo's there, Bliss is there. But the problem is, outfield-wise too, you're pretty damn stacked. Gallegos, Becerra, McAlpin's already a 72 at 18 years old. You still have Marte, you have Carroll, you have Thomas, you have Hernandez, Canzone. I understand if you guys decide to take Fernandez, but man, you are going to have a log jam of talent. You're going to have a log jam of talent if you do. Whereas, again, biggest need right now is bullpen, no doubt. And you could even say, like, oh, well, no one's going to be ready for a few years. At the same time, they're probably better than who you have now. So we will enter the raffle. It'll just be typing the word raffle. And you will be able to make the selection, and we'll see who you guys elect to go for. The person whose name is drawn will get the final word. Again, someone like Carlos Montano might fit need, because again, right now all you have is Middleton. You do have Hicks, who is an outright reliever, but then look at how much that drops off. Like, you basically have Hicks, Middleton, and Dabovich. And like I said, I think you guys are close to contention. You have a phenomenal catcher in Donnelly, where literally at the end of this year, you could let Carson Kelly go, who's currently hurt. You could let him go under qualifying offer, get draft pick compensation, and have his replacement right there, ready to go in Donnelly. And genuinely, if I knew Donnelly was that good, my scouts didn't find him, I would have taken him. I would have. Because that franchise-level catchers are hard to find in this game, and he looks like one. And then again, I didn't have full info, you don't have full info. But Juan Fernandez is certainly tempting. Because if he's that good, then holy fuck. But if he's not that good, then you definitely missed out on some talent. So that's the decision. Do you go for a bigger need with a closer or with that catcher? Or do you take the outfielder when, again, you have 3 outfield spots. And you already have Gallegos, Becerra, McAlpin, Marte, Carroll, Thomas, Hernandez, and Canzone. I don't know what you guys do, because that's a tough choice. And again, Donnelly has a fucking $1 million arm as a catcher. I don't think anyone will ever steal on you with that guy. Jesus, like, not only a good defensive catcher, like, he's gonna win a Gold Glove as a catcher, but he has good contact, too. The choice belongs to Bunny. Bunny J. The choice is yours. Who's it gonna be? A position of need with closer or catcher? Or do you take the mystery box and go for the outfielder and say to hell with the consequences in terms of having too many people? Bunny, who's it gonna be? This is a tough fucking choice. I didn't think you guys would have this tough of a choice at number 13 overall. I really didn't think you would. Because I thought, like, a closer would still be there, and it's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Again, I went for the risk with Villalobos, number 1 overall. And that's a decision I might still live to regret here. Bunny, we need a decision. Who's it gonna be? There's a decent amount of support for Donnelly. Again, my scouts didn't have him. He's a switch hitter, too. He's a switch hitter. Like, literally, I have my short list here, and I marked him down as, like, 100% if he's available to me next time, I take him. Like, that's the category he's in for me. Bunny, we need a decision. You've had time to think about it. You've had time to see the chat. What's it gonna be? Like, 1000% if Donnelly makes it to me with the first pick of the second round, I'm taking him. Like, it's not even a conversation. He is number 1 on my list right now. He's going for Donnelly. We'll be intrigued to see what happens with the mystery box. Joel Donnelly is the pick at catcher, and I think you guys are fucking stacked, to be honest. You get to go from Carson Kelly to Joel Donnelly and still have Del Castillo as a backup. That's gross. That's gross. Joel Donnelly is the pick. And now the question is the mystery box still there? Holy fuck, he's still available. Oh my god. Well, if there was ever a time to take the mystery box, it's right now. I debated taking him first overall, and he's still there, which honestly scares the shit out of me that he's still there, because I heavily considered taking him at 1. Wow. Really quickly, just to go over. Really quickly, just to go over. Who else is off the board now? Bong is gone as a reliever. You have Miguel Sanchez gone as a starter. Just want to take a look at who's off the board here. Pineda's gone in right, in a move that the Angels might regret. Vincent Shin, another one of those shortstops, is gone. You got Matthews in right, who was off the list. Kirby Hernandez, who I loved, man. He's going to be a future shortstop, or future Gold Glove shortstop. You got Scott Joseph gone as a starting pitcher. Craig Deal, man, a lot of right fielders off the board, not named Juan Fran. That scares me, man. Either the AI just fucked up big time, or they know something that I don't. Second base, Nick Underwood was gone. You had Eric Chapman as a left fielder go off the board. Bryant Cannon goes to the Red Sox. Rob Lyon as a lefty's gone. Derek Frost. Dominique Morales, another right fielder who went off the board. David Coley to the Blue Jays. Tommy Koo at catcher for the Dodgers. In a competitive balance round, Stevie Howell off the board. Actually didn't have him on my list. Henry Gomez at catcher. He is gone. Greg Burks, reliever to the Royals. I did have him on my list. Miguel Nieve in lefts. Brian Casto at short. Had him on my list. Oliver Perez at catcher. Had him on my list. And Mark Duke, the center fielder. So, in terms of who I'm interested in, my pick, if the fielder went, was going to be Mercado or Montano. Again, my scouts like both of these guys more than what your scouts liked. And then at catcher, there's still two people there that interest me. There's still quite a few people, actually, that interest me. But there's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind I take the mystery box and I go with Juan Fernandez. There's no doubt. Both of our scouts liked him. Neither confirmed how good he was. There's no doubt. I almost took him first overall. We're taking Juan Fernandez. So off the board in that time, Brian Roy in right. He was on my short list. Adam Sanchez in left. Alfonso Merced also on my short list on right. Tommy Ohlert. Who the hell knows? Johnny Wells as a starter. He looked pretty good too. Your scouts really liked him. Enrique Cabral is off the list. Guillermo Ortiz as a reliever, and Frank Valdez as a starter. So, this pick, honestly, you guys were debating closer or catcher. Here's your chance to take a closer. The pick belongs to Cody. And I think both of us have a great opportunity at a slam dunk first two rounds. It is Cody's choice. Again, your scouts had info on Carlisle. Mine didn't. Mine liked Mercado more than yours did. Both of our scouts liked Montano. I would lean towards Montano if this was me. I would lean towards Montano if that was me. Both of our scouts liked him more than the other two. And again, in terms of position of need, it's your biggest. And I don't know. I mean, someone from chat's team, in chat might disagree. My short list, I'd go for a closer right now. If I didn't get Juan Fern like I just did, I'd go for a closer right now. I think they're the best players left. There's a shortstop I would debate. Or maybe a starting pitcher. There are two potentially decent starting pitchers still available, but however, you guys have Doss at pitcher. You have Sachin, you have Al Kerr, you have Benito Carvajal, Russell Wheat. So, it's a tough call. Cody, we're going to need a decision. We are going to need a choice. Who is going to the Diamondbacks here in the second round? Who's it going to be? Cody gets the call. A lot of support for Montana. Again, in terms of who you guys had scouted out, I don't think there's any green. Cody is going for the reliever, Antonio Valenzuela. Are you confirming Valenzuela? That this was the guy? Your scouts don't have any info on him. I believe mine did. I do have him on my short list. Well, there you go. Antonio Valenzuela's the pick. Cody made his choice. And we'll see who's... ooh, I do have a competitive balance round B pick. And then another pick at the start of the third. Good chance for me to do some damage. So the Orioles took first baseman Gillespie. He's off the board. Catcher Rosenyoy is also gone. Eddie Gonzalez, the only second baseman I had on my list. Hidalgo at catcher. Matt Clark as a reliever. Sean Diaz as a starter, had him on my list. Sean Walker as a first baseman. Lantigua at third. Batista in left. Gonzalez, had him on my short list in right. Ricky Klein at third base. Johnny Flores as a starting pitcher. And Bill Durham, the catcher, goes to the Dodgers. You have a pick right after. It's Anaheim, not Arizona. But yeah, there you go. You see old Bill Durham go to the wayside. And then competitive balance round. Evan Ellison. I liked him as a starting pitcher. You got Whitman, and left is gone. Uribe as a reliever. Lewis Bryant at catcher. Chad Watts at third base. Had him on my short list too. Everett Padilla at catcher, and Richie Casto at first. And then Howie Guy at shortstop is also gone. I was looking at him. So, no doubt in my mind, I'm taking Montano. I think you guys just gifted me to him. I'm taking Montano. My scouts like Mercado as well. But again, your scouts don't like Mercado as well, so that's why I'm not taking him, because our scouts disagree. Our scouts don't disagree on how good Carlos Montano is. No doubt he's my pick here. No doubt. From there, I get another pick, but Encarnacion at third base is gone. Campos in right. You have Carrasco also in right. Ramirez as a starting pitcher, and Jacob Mann at center field. So it leaves me with the first pick of round 3, and no doubt in my mind, I do believe here about who I'm taking. Never mind, there might be some doubt in my mind. There's a catcher I didn't mind, but I have Soderstrom. I'm still desperate for first baseman, but I can move people over. There's 2 guys there that I'm interested in. Third base. I mean, obviously I just signed Devers. Shortstop, there's 1 dude left, but I have Poisson. And then I'm risking the same deal in the outfield after the draft I've just had. Yeah, no doubt in my mind here with this one. We are going to go for a starting pitcher. And we are going to take Will Manning. There's another guy I was looking at, but I am going to go for Will Manning, the starting pitcher. So I've gotten 2 outfielders, starter, and a closer. I'm feeling pretty confident right now. And then as far as who else is off the board, you got Doyle, who's gone. St. Aud is gone. Jimmy Fox is gone. Elez in left, Johnny Gomez. Starting pitcher, Veras as a reliever. Carlos Perez, the center fielder, is gone. Actually had him on my short list too. John Reeve in left. Damon Roman at the third base. McLeod as a starter, and Bernie Cooper at second. So, the choice for chat belongs to Frank Grimes. And it is true, if you guys wanted to go for another reliever, now would be the time. You see, though, who's still available. I mean, first baseman, you really don't need one now because you have Buddy Kennedy, but Christian Smith is there. You got Robbie Mateo as a potential starter, and those are the only 2 guys up in the 80s, but then again, the 2 relievers are still there, Mercado and Carlisle. So some interesting options here. But again, you do need that bullpen help. That is the biggest weakness on your team by far. Ignore what the chart says. That is by far your biggest weakness. Chat says Mercado. Does Frank say Mercado? Frank, you get that final choice, bud. Let's do it. All right, Johan Mercado is the choice here today. Bring us to round 4. All right, Jesse Owen is off the board. Merced is gone at first base. You got Manny Espinoza as a reliever. Chambliss at second. Adrian Graves as a reliever. Had him on my short list. Michael Perez at catcher. Dominguez and Carey as starters. Dominguez in left. Last left fielder I had on my list. Vince Karlik, I'm really intrigued to see how good he is for Tampa because he's older, but he looked good. So you got Castro and Valito as relievers. Marky Yates. Robbie Mateo off the board. Damn you, Chicago. That's who I was going to go for. Joe Rivera in left. Orville Rodriguez and Soriano as a starter, which makes this choice pretty obvious for me. I was hoping he'd fall this far. Your scouts like him, I don't, but it's the 4th round. Time to take the risk. I need a first baseman. Christian Smith is no doubt my choice here at this stage of the draft. And in terms of the other people who are off the board, you got David Chin, who's gone. Eric Dalton is off the board. Cole Johnston at first base. Trevino as a starter. Fred Marsh as a shortstop is gone. Sandy Parrish as a starter. Nance at shortstop. Torres at center field. Chavez in left. Kaiser as a reliever. I had him on my short list. And Jim Brooks at shortstop. So I'm getting kind of into the nitty-gritty here. I mean, you kind of look at the available options. The choice belongs to Popcorn Chicken. And at this stage, 4th round, you're kind of taking just who you think would be the best. Carlisle is still there as a reliever. If you wanted to double up on relievers, you certainly could. If you wanted to double up on relievers and really try to build up that bullpen, you do have Randall Carlisle still available. He's saying, look at the shortstop. I imagine you'd mean Russell Smith. I will be honest, Russell Smith is on my short list. But neither of us desperately needed a shortstop. But at this point, you don't really worry too much about need. Like, first few rounds, you worry about best available and need. Now you just worry about really best available here in the 4th round and beyond. I'm taking a reliever no matter what, just saying. Well, Popcorn, for that, I mean, again, your scouts don't have a ton of relievers. Erdman's available. My scouts liked Gerald Irvin more than yours did. I also had 2 others that your scouts don't like. And then the closer, Carlisle, is still there. He was the kind of the toss-up for both of our scouts, who might still be decent or might not. There's some support for Carlisle in chat. It's up to Popcorn Chicken. Again, relief help, probably not the worst thing in the world. Both of us have a tragic bullpen. He's going Carlisle confirmed. It's another closer. And honestly, I think a pretty good choice for you guys, all things considered. So just to look there, Telshaw, Stampadilla. You got Hernandez gone. Cloven, Jamal Hines. Steve Nieves, Martin Delory. And left, Eddie Lucero is off the board. Moses Harmon at center. Who's also on my short list. You got Woodson. Third base, Juan Taveras as a starter. Thompson, Mueller, Pines. You got Shelley at third base. Stoddard in right. And Vasquez at third. So first pick of round 5. There are 3 guys on my list here. Interesting. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go for Russell Smith. Your scouts liked him, mine didn't. And again, I'm gonna keep taking the risk. We're gonna go for Russell Smith. So then off the board from there, you got McCarthy in left. Espinoza as a reliever. Bowen never came back, did he? I think he said he could hear me, but didn't understand anything. Irvin is off the board. Johnny James, Garcia, Rivera in left. Scott Erdman also off the board. Hutchins in left. Rivera and O'Hara in right. So, Chad, it's up to you again. Fucking good luck. I mean, you see who your scouts have available at this point. It's kind of best guess at this stage. Cody will not get a duplicate pick. Sorry to you. It will be Daniel. Danielson. Congratulations. So, I mean, really, your scouts are recommending Gutierrez, Ponce, Vento, or Keenan Reed, unless you had somebody in mind from my list, Daniel. And again, anybody else below, you just won't have the info on. Or above. Like those 80s. Again, it's like, okay, they're showing up as 80s, but do you trust it? Daniel, what are you thinking? Portillo reliever. Are you locking it in? I will say, not on my short list. All right, there you go. Arturo Portillo is the selection for you guys. As we go to the 6th round, I almost double-clicked into drafting somebody. All right. Wow. There are starting pitchers that I still like. Honestly, I think you guys could, oh man, this is interesting now. This is my last pick, so who cares? There's De La Cruz. Not looking that bad. Campillo is apparently ready 2 seasons, and then Franco might be ready next year. However, I didn't mind Irvin. Okay. I trust my starters. But I'm in the same position with you guys at catcher that Sean Murphy's getting old, and I've had this guy on my short list for a long time, and somehow he's still here. I don't know how Sylvester Farrell's still there, but he's still there. He's my pick. As you guys see who is off the board, the final pick belongs to Wheelchair. Mr. Broken Wheelchair, the final pick is yours. Best of luck. Who are you thinking? Honestly, you might have to go off of who my scouting department had at this point, because it's looking a little bit rough. It's looking a little bit rough. Campillo is still there. He was probably the highlight. That would be my choice. My scouts liked him, yours didn't. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've risked it a few times, though. Just whether or not you thought he was worth the risk. And why not see? I mean, you guys already have a fucking dynamite 6th round draft pick in terms of starting pitchers. You got Getz, you got Franco, Campillo. How much do you trust it? He's going for Edgar Campillo, the final pick of what could be an insane draft. I am very, very intrigued at seeing the end result of this. And as much as I want to cliffhanger it, I won't. So, your draft picks for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Oh, dude, Donnelly's going to be so good. There it is, chat. So Donnelly is a 71 at 21 years old, 85 potential. That's a really solid pick. I'm surprised he's not an A. But that's a solid pick. Again, you guys are set at catcher for the duration of this franchise mode. Antonio Valenzuela's not bad, but he's not amazing. It was certainly a risky pick by Cody. There was Wheels. I took him. Valenzuela, 20 years old, 62 overall, 72 C potential. He's not bad. He will be a decent reliever for you, but he's just not going to be elite. Let's, of course, make sure we sign everybody here. Then there was Mercado. 61 at 21, but 85 B potential. He and Valenzuela on a similar path. He's not bad, but again, not elite. But he'll be a really good bullpen option for you. Carlisle's a 60 at 20. So again, you went on a run of 4 straight relievers. I don't think any of these 3 are that bad. None of them just have an elite overall out of the gates or an elite potential. Arturo Portillo is a 63 at 21 years old, same thing. Like, bottom line is, you guys wanted to improve your bullpen. You did it. All 4 of these guys will be featured in your bullpen. They're just not going to be elite. And then Campillo is a 65. Fucking amazing bunting. He is a 65 at 20 years old, 75 C potential. So honestly, it's a solid draft. You addressed a lot of your needs. I went very, very boom or bust here. Fuck yeah, dude! Yes! I made the right choice! Domingo Villalobos! Oh, he's a 68 at 19 years old with an A potential. Oh my god, yes. Whew. Fuck yeah, man. Oh, how good. How good's Juan Fran? Okay, so, oh my god, this draft for me. So he's a 75 at 22 years old. He's only a C potential, but he's a 75 out of the gates. I wouldn't have been too upset with Fernandez given the OVR, but at the same time, thank God I took Villalobos. Thank God. Oh man, he is gonna be insane. Fernandez is ready like next year. And then there's Montano. 19 years old, 60, but an 89, which is huge. Manning is a... Ooh, so Manning's not so hot. He's only a 57 at 22 years old. Good potential, but a 57's a low overall. He might end up at long reliever status, but He's my first meh pick. Christian Smith, also highly disappointing. 20 years old, only a 50 at 77 overall. So that's a shame. He looked much better than that. Again, your scouts liked him, mine hated him. Mine were right. Russell Smith is a 62 at 20 years old. C potential, that's not so bad. And then Farrell was also a bit disappointing. So to be honest, I think you guys probably had the more well-rounded draft. But between I think my top 3 probably just put it into my favor. Like, I got the best player of the draft. Not that your catcher's bad. I think you guys addressed a lot of need. I'm going to need a lot more development time. I'm going to need a lot more development time. So again, I don't think you guys did that badly. Donnelly is going to be really solid. You got this good group of bullpen help that I think will help a lot. And again, Campillo, only a C potential, but a 65 OVR. I think I just edged you guys out, but I don't think it was a bad draft for you at all. Like, there's not... I wouldn't sit here and be like, oh, you guys are holding the L after this one. Like, no, you guys had a good draft. But thank God, first overall, I knocked it out of the park with Villalobos. Really quickly, like, Deal is a 46, for God's sakes. And here, I will move myself back out of the way. I know you can still see the OBR. I'll move myself down this way. Actually, fucking... I don't know where to go. I'm going to go up here. You don't really even need to see what the people look like because they never look that funny. Mark Carey, someone I was looking at. He was great. Lucero's only a 55, but he's 19. Santiago, not that bad. Seattle did okay. Brad Stoneman's a 64 at 21 years old. McLeod's a 66 at 22. Some good OVRs there for Texas. Atlanta botched it. Yeah, Atlanta botched it. The Marlins, Vinny Shin wasn't that good. Chambliss isn't that good. Espinoza, 57 at 19. It's not bad for a late round pick. How good was Chung? 65, also not that bad. At this point, I mean, again, I'm going to look at like B potentials or higher, because some C overall guys or potential guys will be decent. Like David Vaughn's only a 57 at 22. So I'm sure there could be some higher rated dudes. Elton Sanchez was a 61 at 19 years old, a potential. I'm glad I took the outfielder. Irvin was I was gonna go for Irvin over the catcher, but I took the catcher. Should have gone for Irvin. Cubs had a pretty bad draft. De La Cruz was their best player. Santos at second, kind of bad, low overall for his age. Same for Howell. Johnny Wells isn't that bad. Kirby Hernandez, again, great defensive shortstop, but only a 62 at 22 years old. That's rough, man. Perez, the catcher, is only a 49. Jeff McCoy is a 44 at 20 years old, man. It's nuts. Brian Roy's a 55. Doyle's a 64. So that's what I mean. You can get these guys with the high potentials, but if their overall's garbage to the point where you won't even see them until they're 28, who the hell cares? And we know your guys. Uribe. Ooh, Zach Uribe. 19 years old, 68 overall, A potential. Great pickup for the Rockies. Everyone else was kind of disappointing. No crazy high OVRs. Shut on accident getting that Cedric Mullins. The Dodgers. Koo was a 67. That's not bad. You guys did get the. Both catchers were actually half decent. Perez is only a 59. Man, they took 3 catchers to start off this draft. Jesus. What the hell are you thinking? Got Quezada, who's only a 48. Harmon's a 71 in the outfield, though, but 74 potential. Chapman was trash. Castro, not so great. Pretty rough draft for the Giants. David Bong wasn't good. Gillespie might have been the guy to take at first base. Low overall, but he's only 19. Jesse Owen was a 55. Cannon was a 55 at 20 years old. Salazar's 23, but a 66. Connie Kaminsky, really good in terms of potential, but only a 47 overall at 18 years old. It can take him a long time to be ready. Same for the other catcher that they drafted. All right, Karlik was the guy that I was interested in. 66 at 24. Look at Angelo Batista. 71 and 18 years old, C potential. Jesus. Jesus. And then Coley is a 61, C potential. No crazy overalls for them. I made the right choice. Rafael Ramirez was a great pickup, though, for Chicago. 70 at 20 years old. Robbie Mateo, 73 overall at 19 years old, but a 75. Good job, Chicago. I definitely made the right choice with the first overall pick, and that feels damn good. It feels damn good, because there's a lot of pressure on that first overall pick. Ooh, Howie Guy. Would have liked to have gotten him. God damn. Was that Young and the Restless music? I don't fucking know. Non-copyright bullshit. Blame YouTube. Stuart Bradley, beast of a closer. Got some high ratings aside from Veras. Delory, 58 overall at 20 years old. Merced's a 50 overall at 20 years old. Elez is at least a 70. I mean, I think you could argue the two of us probably had at least top 5 drafts. At least. Yeah, no doubt, though. We made the right choice with Domingo Villalobos. I am over fucking joyed at the fact he is on my team.